What's good in the neighborhood? Want to talk about feeding the flesh? Oh, Ruach HaKodesh, help me preach about feeding the flesh. Amen. What feeds your flesh? Ask yourself, ask others, those in the spirit. What you walk in the spirit so as to not gratify the things of the flesh. Gratify the flesh. Flesh, I would guess, ego, self, self and flesh. That's just the enemy's turf all day long. If you're just focused on, but what about me and what about my rights and what about my thing, and I've been there, been even recent. What about what is in this for me? That right there is a slippery slope and a downward spiral because we can never, even ourself can never do enough for self, and self is never satisfied. You open Pandora's box of what's in it for me, and next thing you know, it's just all, it's never enough. The flesh cannot be satisfied, can't be quenched. So what feeds our flesh? Well, things that would pump up our ego and our pride. Status, maybe, shoot, some ladies hollering at you. Definitely smoking, drinking, dietary things, eating the wrong food, like a bunch of cupcakes per se. You're not going to feel edified in your spirit if you eat a gang of cupcakes. You're going to feel lethargic and fat in the flesh. And your flesh is going to be mad because sugar's a drug, It can be a drug. So, drugs. Definitely, I want to talk about smoking. I used to call cigarettes even the demon breeders. And the reason why is because I was without for a long time, and then all of a sudden, I smoked, and I just, I could sense the sensitivity of how it affected me. I was instantly flaring agitated. It was just, and I knew that it was related to not having smoked for a long time and then smoking again. First thing I felt was just a high agitation. So you can just imagine somebody that's maybe immune to that sensitivity of what it's doing, but it's a ball and chain. My grandfather smoked 2 packs of cools a day since he was 14 to now he's like mid 80s. He's the most angriest dude I've ever met. He was always mad. And I wondered, is that because your ankle is raw from that ball and chain? If you had a big heavy ball and a chain hooked to your ankle, over time it would get all raw and it would be just annoying. So any form of bondage is a ball and chain, and it can annoy you and fester and bother you and feel like a monkey on your back that's all flesh. It has to deal with self. That's why who the Son sets free is free indeed. There's liberation, deliverance through what feeds the spirit. Born again prompts deliverance, gives you the power to be set free. We have to meet the Lord way more than halfway, though. Like for instance, I can't smoke a cigarette and expect, the Lord's going, well, your part is to not pick that up. And it's like, yeah, but I want one or I'm addicted. Well, that is the part God's not forcing you to do that. It's you're making the choice. Even if, the addiction part of our habits and everything, that's the suffering for starting in the first place. It's only calming the addiction that shouldn't even be there. It's not giving us peace. It's only calming the vice that comes from starting in the first place. So, anyways, to walk in the Spirit. That's the other thing too. I'm really hit on. I was thinking earlier today about like cigarettes, for instance, one of the most main habits people have, and it's easily justified because it's legal, whatever. But this goes for all addictions across the board, though. The problem that I have with addiction is you can't properly fast. I noticed. I always desired to fast. Fasting's taken me a long way in this walk with the Lord. But I always desired to fast, but then there was always this heavy conviction, like, but will I not smoke that day that I'm fasting? Because I gotta have a cigarette at least by lunch. I got to. I have to. So to me, if you smoke during your fast, it's not a genuine fast unless you are fasting from what feeds your flesh. So there you have it. You can't just fast from green vegetables and eat cupcakes. It's not going to be a heart, mind, soul effort there. Heart, mind, soul would be an absolute doing, the fasting is about, even like the Day of Atonement coming up to afflict ourselves. You're not going to be kicking back and doing your favorite addiction and feel like you're truly, you can't feed the flesh and really be in the Spirit. You're going to be impaired. You're going to have a gateway open for the enemy to come in and ride you through the whole walk. So even if you are getting an unction of the Spirit now, you're feeling it, whatever, but you still haven't dealt with these vices, trust me, you'll be put in a position where it's just you looking the vice in the mirror. And it's a crack. It's a crack in the window, letting the demons just fly and come right in the window of your walk. And I know this because I've done it time and time again. You can't be about the master with a monkey on your back. And that's me. The message from the master, Mackie, coming through like a heart attack.